The Daedric Prince of Molag Bal, the Prince of Domination, the Lord of Corruption, the God of Schemes, Harvester of Souls, Master of Coldharbour, and the Third Corner of the House of Troubles. Molag Bal is just a massive figure, both in terms of the realms of oblivion and in the religion of the Dunmer. Yet, for all that magnificent, importance, there is really just nothing to distinguish the Daedric shrines dedicated to Molag Bal from any other Daedric shrine. Like, they're all pretty much just, cookie cutter. Like, aside from the statue, there is nothing to distinguish these Daedric shrines as being any different from any other Daedric shrine. Like, if you didn't see the statue dedicated to Molag Bal, you wouldn't know you were in a shrine dedicated to Molag Bal. Like, even in the case of Bal, one of the most important Daedric shrines dedicated to Molag Bal in the vanilla game, there is no way of knowing that when you wander in from the wilderness. Like, his statue isn't even in the entryway. You have to find his statue like deep down in the depths, like, buried at the last part of the dungeon. And if you were just stumbling in from the wilderness and didn't know the lore or the stories behind Bal, there would be no way of knowing that this shrine was dedicated to Molag Bal until you saw that statue at the end of the dungeon. And basically, what today's Mod of the Day does is it sort of just sets out to give each of the dungeons and shrines dedicated to Molag Bal a bit more of a distinct and, unique appearance. Both in terms of aesthetics and in terms of the enemies that you'll fight to. With more of the Daedra associated with Molag Bal being found in the shrines dedicated to Molag Bal, instead of just generic Daedra. And that brings me to today's Mod of the Day, because today we're showcasing Daedric Shrine Overhaul Molag Bal by Glittergear. And essentially, this overhauls 5 Daedric dungeons in the vanilla game, including, obviously, Bal, and in addition to that, the Daedric shrines of Ashawamawia, Sutanamis, Ramilk, and Tusanint. And, I do apologise, I probably mispronounced really all those names, but, they're Daedric names, they're difficult to pronounce. But anyway, just, focusing on the changes that this mod makes, perhaps most notably in terms of the Daedric shrines, one of the biggest changes is the atmospheric lighting. Obviously, Molag Bal is, associated with the domain of Coldharbour. Like, that is his domain, and Coldharbour has a lot of, bluish purple lighting. And consequently, so do his Daedric shrines. Like, now you'll find, just a lot of blue and purple lighting, lighting up the interiors of these Daedric shrines. And, obviously, it's not just the lighting that's, been borrowed from Coldharbour. Like, you'll find a ton of aesthetics, associated with Coldharbour in these Daedric shrines. Like, giant chains, gibbets, various, Daedric sigils glowing with blue light, and various Daedric machinery. Like, there is a ton here to, just associate these Daedric shrines to Molag Bal and the realm of Coldharbour. And that extends to the, to the loot just as well, because you'll find just a ton of soul gems, soul bottles, and other items associated with collecting souls in shrines dedicated to Molag Bal. Because Molag Bal is the harvester of souls. Like, collecting souls is very much his domain. And consequently, you'll find a lot of loot, to that effect, in his shrines. And of course, that also means you'll have to fight through a lot of, Daedra associated with Molag Bal in order to collect that loot. And that includes such creatures as harvesters, frost atronachs, and various minions of the undead, all creatures associated with Molag Bal. And this just, this makes the Daedric shrines and dungeons associated with Molag Bal just a much more, exciting experience. Because you're going to have unique encounters and, uncover just tons of unique loot. All things that make raiding a dungeon worthwhile. Now, it is worth noting that this is actually part of a series of mods that Glittergear is working on to just overhaul and, completely redo just a lot of the Daedric shrines and dungeons in the vanilla game, just to, to make them more unique and distinct based on the Daedric prints that they're dedicated to. This is actually the second mod in that series. The first one overhauled all the Daedric shrines associated with Maroon's Dagon. And, we'll get around to showcasing that eventually, but, point is, this is just a really, exciting series of mods to just, keep an eye on. That, just certainly has a lot of potential. One other thing to note here, though, this does require terminal data, OB data, and the Doors of Oblivion in terms of, asset usage. And that last one is, especially important because the Doors of Oblivion is kind of a grand adventure mod by Ashtar that just, adds a lot of the various realms of Oblivion to the game world of Morrowind, including, perhaps most importantly for, our purposes, the realm of Coldharbour. And there is a lot of, asset sharing between that realm of Coldharbour and these Daedric shrines dedicated to Molag Bal. So there's, a bit of asset cohesion there and consistency. But, anyway, these are just some absolutely fantastic looking and atmospheric, dungeon overhauls for the Daedric shrines related to Molag Bal. And this is just absolutely a mod worth checking out, and a series that is also worth just, keeping an eye on. But anyway, that's just our mod of the day. So, as always, I've been your host, Dark Elf Guy. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, happy modding, and I'll see you all next time.